How many times have you said to yourself, I messed up, I fell short of the glory of God, and now I feel like God has separated himself from me and I feel disconnected? Take heart, because I'm here to encourage you. Let's start with the lie that the church told us. The church told us that when we sin and fall short of the glory of God, that he separates himself from us. That is a lie. And I'm here to tell whoever is on the opposite side of this screen that that is a lie. God does not like sin. He cannot be in the presence of sin. But, if we are reading our Bible, we know that Romans 8 told us, specifically Romans 8 and 38. There is nothing that can separate us from the love of God. Remember that fellow in the Bible called Peter? Do you remember what he did? So he was at the bonfire and some girl saw him and she said, weren't you one of the disciples with this Jesus fellow? And then Peter says, no, it wasn't me. Are you sure it was me? Because I don't know him. Somebody else saw him and said, wait a minute, weren't you one of the disciples? Yeah, I know, I saw you. And he said, no, you have the wrong man. You are mistaken. The Bible even goes on to say that Peter cursed them out after he denied and the cock crew. Is that a word? I don't know. But after he denied the Lord, he then decides to go back to be a fisherman, because what else do you do now? Peter decides to go back and become a fisherman. He's catching fish. He's struggling all night, nothing on, until the sun comes up. And the next day, he sees a man walking along the shore. And this man says, hey, cast your net on the other side of the boat. And so Peter does. And lo and behold, and behold, and lo, he caught a ton of fish. And so Peter then was like, wait a minute, it's Jesus. And so he runs to the shore, greets him with a hug and a kiss, and he's happy to see Jesus. Mind you, Peter, not too long ago, said he didn't know him. Okay? And this is how merciful God is. And this is the point that I'm trying to make. God did not reject him. Not only did he cook up the fish for them, he said, Peter, do you love me? And Peter said, of course I do. Most people would be like, you liar, you just denied me. God didn't even bring it up. He didn't even mention it. He said, all right, you say you love me? Feed my sheep. You say you love me? Tell my sheep about the gospel. You say you love me? Correct my sheep when they're wrong. You say you love me? I'm giving you the authority to go and be a fisher of men. So God elevated him. He didn't run away from him. Peter, the same one that denied God 3 times. The person that's watching this right now, you feel highly discouraged. You made a mistake and you're feeling like, okay, my blessings that were coming aren't coming anymore. The plan that God had in place for me is not happening anymore. I totally screwed up. These are not your thoughts. These are thoughts from the enemy to derail you, to distract you, and to discourage you from getting back up and moving forward. You don't think that God that said to you, I have given you all spiritual blessings before the foundation of this earth. You think he didn't know that you were going to go do foolishness? Of course he knew. That's why he gave you grace. That's why he gave you grace. That's why he says, for my grace is sufficient. Get up, baby. We are untouchable. We are. The enemy already knows that. That's why he's fighting so hard. Now, I know the internet is a very crazy place and people like to twist words and say things that weren't said. So let me just be very clear. I'm not saying that you should live a life of iniquity and everything will be okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you sin and fall short of the glory of God. You make a mistake, you fall. But the difference between sin and iniquity is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of sin. You wake up in the morning, you sin, and you go to bed and you sin and you feel no remorse. It's just what you do. Be encouraged, boo. God has already accounted for this time. You are in good hands, better than Allstate. Now, I don't know who you are, but I love you. I'm rooting for you, better than Tyra. And I am here to let you know I completely and totally understand because I can relate. You got this. Your destiny hasn't gone anywhere. The plans God has for you is still in place. Keep going.